Hey friends, not sure if you all have heard, but Kamala Harris has spoken out again against us unlawful, crazy, rowdy gun owners, stating that we should be forced to look at the corpses of children who have been killed by AR-15s. This is exactly what she said. I think that all those members should be locked up in a room and put the autopsy photographs of those children down and require them to look at them and see what these weapons do to the human body, and then ask them to speak to their conscience, their God, their sense of what's right, and then vote. But sadly, this has come down to a partisan political issue, and it's a false choice. I support the Second Amendment, but I also believe there should be an assault weapons ban. It's impossible to say that last sentence with a straight face, and it's impossible to say that and expect anybody to believe you. You cannot believe in the Second Amendment. They like to have these sweeping generalities, right? Well, I'm going to do my own. You cannot support the Second Amendment and support banning AR-15s. That is not possible. If you agree with both of those, if you call yourself a Second Amendment supporter, but you also think that AR-15 should not be in civilian hands, you are not a Second Amendment supporter, and you should shut your mouth, because that you have an opinion that you think you support a portion of the Second Amendment, but you don't think that we have the full right to exercise it in full. So you should probably just shut up and just go on about your business and support the small portion of the Second Amendment that you seem to think that you support. Now, in her case, she's just saying that for political purposes. She doesn't support any portion of the Second Amendment. Now, you know what Kamala Harris, we should force her to do? We should put her in a room and lock it down on the border and force her to watch all the illegal aliens that are coming in from the southern border, that the felons that are coming in, the killers, the rapists, the child molesters, the child traffickers, the smugglers of fentanyl that's killing off all of our kids. That's what she should be forced to look at. And she should be forced to look at the bodies that are left behind, the carnage of what these people are leaving behind in their wake, the fentanyl kids. I watched a friend bury their 20-year-old son a couple of months ago because it was that type of overdose. We also have these rapists and people like that that are coming in. Look, these countries that these immigrants, if you want to call them that, are coming in, I call them illegal aliens. That's still right to say. They're not sending their best. Those people are not sending their doctors. We don't have the cream of the crop coming across the border. These countries are incentivizing their worst, their lowest. Heck, some criminals are actually being encouraged to come across here. Venezuela they're releasing hundreds of their prisoners in prison that they don't want on their own streets, but they're releasing them to send them here, because it's a way to get rid of them and get them out of their country. No burden on them in prison, and they're not out in public committing those same crimes. Maybe Kamala Harris should be forced to look at the dead bodies that lay in wake. Since she is the border czar for some reason, maybe she should do that and quit worrying about us looking at corpses of dead bodies of people that they would let out of jail quicker than you can snap your fingers. Stop worrying about that, border czar.
I'm sorry, I thought this was America.
He's over!